Good morning and welcome to the Hiram E. Mann chapter of the Tuskegee Airmen Incorporated's Monument Rededication and Unveiling Ceremony.
It is my pleasure to welcome you to the Low Country Regional Airport and the Walterboro Army Airfield Memorial Park. And the stories of all Tuskegee Airmen must be told and told again. This monument helps to ensure that these stories will live on. We thank you, Tuskegee Airmen, for your service. And we're excited about the installation of this new and improved Tuskegee Airmen Monument.
But during World War II, the Tuskegee Airmen faced vastly different circumstances. They were, in effect, fighting two wars: a war overseas against the Axis powers and a war at home against racial discrimination. Their fight to secure civil rights for themselves and their countrymen would become known as the Double V Campaign, the fight for victory at home and abroad.
The Tuskegee Airmen will forever be a critical pillar of aviation history. I think it's becoming more and more recognized over the last 10, 20 years, but the history really started the first day that the units were formed and that you started to train. So for that, we thank you.
These men who flew those airplanes with great tails made a contribution that helped win a war. They were not always appreciated. In fact, they, in many instances, were vilified. But you, the people of this country, the decision makers of these grounds, you saw that as a fault that needed to be repaired. And you've done so. And you continue to do so. In your efforts to repair that fault,
Amen,
is what makes this country great.
Hey.
When Mr. Fishburne contacted me, he said, Craig, we need some help with the design and illustration of a new monument. As an aviation artist, these are the types of projects that I work on. And I said, what can I do? Absolutely, I'm on board.
Well, I've known Dr. Richardson for a while. Always admired his work and what he's done. And it was just an honor to have him here again, to actually be able to speak to the crowd.
It's really touching to be here in the building. There's a large picture of myself when I was 19 years of age, flying P-40s and P-47s off of this property. And it really brings back great fond memories. Thank you ever so much.
Over the skies of Europe and North Africa, these airmen soared. They proved their bravery and their extraordinary skill. And they demonstrated to the world that the content of character is more important than the color of your skin.
We gather on the grounds of the Low Country Regional Airport in the Walterboro Army Airfield Park at the Tuskegee Airmen Memorial Monument Site. We come with thanksgiving and praise to you as we are witnessing the unveiling and rededication of this historical monument, paying respect to the international contribution of the Tuskegee Airmen.
This is a unique opportunity to share the story of the Tuskegee Airmen and take a look at this monument, take a moment, really learn about what took place, and honor that in your heart and in your lives as well. It's a story that the entire United States and the world needs to remember.
When I was 17, I said, when I get into service, I'd like to be a pilot. He said, well, you can take a test now to put you on track to be a pilot. I took the test. I was classified as a pre-aviation cadet. Sent me down to Biloxi, to Keesler Field, Mississippi, outside of Biloxi. There were some intelligent people around. And one of those persons on our side was an intelligent, stubborn lady named Eleanor Roosevelt. She was behind the effort for men of color to get into the service. Well, Tuskegee Institute got a contract with the Air Force to be the place where men of color to get their primary flight training before they went on to a military base. Things went well at Keesler Field, so I went up to Tuskegee and started in the cadet program. I was the only black cadet that went through at the time that was there when I went through. The only place as big as this country, as many bases in this country, there was only one where men of color could go to fly and be trained to fly. That was Tuskegee. So that's why we're known as Tuskegee Airmen. In the primary school, all the instructors were black in the primary school. But I was fortunate. All my instructors, I got on very well with all my instructors. But I used the GI Bill to go to school. I wound up with a doctorate in education administration. And I retired as a principal of a middle school in Philadelphia.